John, tell me a little bit about the origin of the Genuine Country Music Association.
Bob, some friends of mine, they really enjoy playing traditional country music. We seem to be losing that in the country. So we decided to start an organization to work toward preserving and promoting traditional country music. Sounds from the early Grand Ole Opry days.
Hank Snow, stuff like that? Yeah.
Little Jimmy Dickens. Of course, the Ray Price.
Pre-Garth Brooks and Leanne Rimes.
We call it BG, anything before Garth.
There you go, okay. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Well, tell me a little bit about this show we're going to see today.
Bill-Atterbury, our headliner,
Yep.
spent 35 to 40, 38 years, I believe, on the
Yep.
on the Ozark Opry,
Yeah.
Lee Mace's Ozark
Mace, yeah.
Opry. Very well known throughout the Midwest, traveling, touring, TV shows, still performing. I called Bill Goofer. He jumped all over and said he'd be happy to come up here and help us with our show today. So we're happy about that. From Nashville, Tennessee, Grand Ole Opry staff piano, Tim Atwood.
Yep.
Played with the staff band at Grand Ole Opry for 38 years. His wife, Roxanne, producer of a lot of the country music shows out of Nashville, is going to MC today. Our daughter, Alicia, is up from Nashville.
I saw that feral name on the program.
She grew up here, started working country music shows when she was 14. Tickled to have her back. Steel guitar, Scottie Henderson, member of the Kansas Steel Guitar Hall of Fame. Roy D. came here from California, worked a lot of the great clubs in California, Las Vegas and Lake Tahoe. Jim Finney has spent about 30 years on the Ozark Opry, kind of managing that show, running the recording studio. And Jay Orr, our drummer, very diverse drummer, great vocal. Won't get to hear enough of him
We covered
today.
everybody yet?
Sarah.
Okay.
Sarah Harmon
Yeah.
is here, Alicia's mother. Alicia asked her to come in and sing some harmony today. She's going to do a couple of songs. And my granddaughter, Alicia Lane, is going to get up and sing a song with us.
That's
Really
great.
excited
That's
about
great.
that.
There's also kind of an alternative thing about this this jamboree that you're putting on today. Tell us about that.
Well, we want to promote traditional country music, and through that, we want to help charities, do benefits for charities, organizations, charitable organizations. So last year, we hit on State Fair Community College. My wife, Lynn, is a member of the board, one of the boards, in Sedalia. They have a campus, State Fair Community College campus, located in Osage Beach. We thought, nice program.
Yep.
Let's promote that and help local students with tuition and book costs.
So this
those
is actually
that need help.
going to the local campus here, is that correct?
It will stay right here. All the money we raised last year was about $10,000, about $50 short of $10,000. We're going to do more than that this year.
Yeah.
That money stays here to help those students needing financial assistance here at this campus.
Well, we're looking forward to the show. I hope our viewers are looking forward to the show. And
Thank you.
I see you got your duds on. You're ready to go.
We're ready to go. We're going to have a fun afternoon. I hope the place is
Rockin'.
packed, standing room only.
Thanks a lot, John.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
You guys like country music, right? Okay. I don't believe you. Do you like country music? Do you like real country music, the traditional kind? Okay. Then you're all in the right spot today. I want to get this show started with some great music. You're going to be hearing great music all day. You're going to be hearing country, gospel, little Jerry Lee Lewis. It's going to be a good day, folks. But to get started, we need some audience participation, okay, to start this thing, because you're going to enjoy this show as much as you put into this show. So it's all right for you to clap, to yee-haw, to stand up, and you can even dance if you so choose. That's why we have this space cleared for you today. The object of the day is to raise money for scholarships and to have a good time doing it. So, in order to get started, I need you to repeat after me, y'all come. Oh, that's really good. When I point to you on this first song, you know your cue. Okay, the Board of Directors Band featuring Alicia Lane. Let's hear it, guys. Let's get started. Woo-hoo!
country, everybody is your neighbor. This one thing you can't rely. They'll all come to see you, they'll never ever leave you, saying y'all come to see us by and by. Y'all come, y'all come, oh y'all come see us when you can. Y'all come, y'all come, y'all come, oh y'all come see us when you can. Grandma's wishing they'd come into the kitchen, help do the dishes right away. But they'll all start leaving, even though she's grieving. You can hear Grandma say, y'all come, oh y'all come see us when you can. Y'all come, oh y'all come see us now and then. Come to see us now and then.
Are we there? There we are. A great start to the day, and we're glad that you're here with us today. Our next artist, we're gonna keep this moving. He spent some time at Lee Mace's Ozarks Opry. So you guys know him well. He is a member of the Western Swing Hall of Fame. He is a member of the Kansas Steel Guitar Hall of Fame. And he is a country song's best friend. Please welcome Mr. Scottie Henderson.
3, 4, 1, 2. You make my eyes run over all the time. You're happy when I'm out of my mind. You won't love me, but you won't let me be. Don't you ever get tired of hurting me. You must think I look back with a smile, for you haven't let me wear one such a long, long while. I keep coming back. Why must this be? Don't you ever get tired of hurting me? Someone must have hurt you long ago. Oh, I take revenge on what loves you so. You don't love me, but you won't let me be. Don't you ever get tired of hurting me. You must think I look back with a smile, for you haven't let me wear one in such a long, long while. But I keep coming back. Why must this be? Don't you ever get tired of hurting me? Don't you ever get tired of hurting me?
Mr. Scottie Henderson.
That's for Miss Joyce.
Now that's country. And by the way, you guys were the best couple on the dance floor, bar none. We are so glad to be here. My husband and I were in Las Vegas. He was playing a gig there last weekend, so it's good to be here with friends. We played Saturday night, and then Sunday we stayed over to go to church with some friends of ours, and they're Catholic, and we're Protestant, but we went to their church, and it's kind of a different thing there, the Catholic churches in Las Vegas. In Las Vegas, people don't just put money in the collection plate, they put a lot of the chips from the casino in the collection plate. I'd never seen that before. And there are so many different casinos in Las Vegas that they have to take the chips at the end of the week and they take them to a nearby monastery. I learned all this last week. And there are monks there who actually count and separate those chips. You may have heard of them. They're called the chipmunks. So I learned a lot. Oh, thank you. I learned a lot last weekend. I am so happy to introduce this next artist to you today. I met her when she was a teenager, and since then she is now a mama of two, and she's a wife. She is a local girl done good because you know her well. She's the third generation of entertainers in her family. She was brought up on real country music, as you guys can tell. She performed at the Main Street Opry of the Lake. She moved to Nashville, where I met her, and she recorded an album there. She opened up for opera artists like Merle Haggard and one of my good buddies, Johnny Russell. She is as beautiful on the inside as she is on the outside. Would you please put your hands together and welcome my friend, Alicia Lane.
Together again, my tears have stopped falling. The long, long nights are now an end. The key to my heart you hold in your hand. Oh, and nothing else matters now. We're together again. together again. Oh, my gray sky's gone. You're back in my arms, right where you belong. The love that we knew, oh, it's living again. No, nothing else matters now. We're together again. No, nothing else matters now. We're together again.
Alicia Lane, everybody. She is one of your own, and I'm so glad that you guys claim her. It's a lot to claim here. Awesome. Hey, I want to remind you guys, when you came in, you may have seen that there is a guitar that's up for raffle. It's going to be raffled away this afternoon. And it is a new, is it Samick, John? New Samick? It's a D2 acoustic flat top guitar.
Go buy a ticket.
Has a natural finish. It's a $250 value, a lifetime warranty. Oh my goodness, and it's only $1
Don't look
a
at
ticket.
me when you say that.
Okay, it's $1 a ticket, a lifetime warranty. It's $1 a ticket. It's 6 chances for $5. So we're going to be drawing for that the second half of the show. So get your tickets while you can. Now, up until now, we have played traditional country music for you. We are about to ruin that. We are going to take you down the lane with some Jerry Lee Lewis. Play a little honky-tonk piano for you, a little rock and roll piano. This man seated to my right, what can I say about this man seated to my right that he hasn't already said about himself? Let's see. He is a studio musician in Nashville, Tennessee. He's played on many albums. He's been on recordings by Vince Gill. He's performed and played with Ray Price. You can check the back of your album covers. For 38 years, he played on the Grand Ole Opry as part of the staff band of the Grand Ole Opry. And thank you. That's nice. Because of that, he was able to play and get to know and call his friends people like Minnie Pearl and Roy Acuff and Little Jimmy Dickens. He also had the opportunity through the Opry to play for presidents of the United States. He played with Don Ho, with Bob Hope, and then some of the newer artists like Garth Brooks and Vince Gill, Taylor Swift, but don't hold that against him. So he's here today. This man just happens to be the grandfather to my grandchildren. So show him what you got, Grandpa. Please welcome my husband, Mr. Tim Atwood.
I've got to tell you, before we started today, Roxanne said that, I've noticed you don't have your wedding ring on. And I said, well, you know, it was cutting off my circulation. She said, that's what it's supposed to do. But
Yes,
you shake my nerves and you rattle my brain. Too much in love drives a man insane. You broke my will. What a thrill! Goodness gracious, great balls of fire! I laughed in love because I thought it was funny. Come along and move me, honey. Your love is fire, so divine. Goodness gracious, great balls of fire. Kiss me, baby. Woo! Feels good. Hold me, baby. I wanna love you like a lover should. You're fine. So kind, gotta tell the world that you're mine, mine, mine. With my nails and I twiddle my thumb. Sure nervous, but the show is fun. Oh, baby, drive me crazy. Goodness gracious, great balls of fire. shake it, go wrong. Ain't faking, oh, I'm shaking going on. I said, come on over, baby, now we got chicken in the barn, in the barn, in the barn, it's barn. Come on over, baby, we really got the bull by the horn. Ain't faking, oh, I'm shaking going on. Shake it, baby, shake. Shake it, baby, shake. Shake it, baby, shake it. Shake it, baby, shake. Come on over. Oh, I'm shaking going on. Yes, tried to give me hook on me to marry, settle down, raise a family, write a book. Too much monkey business, too much monkey business, too much monkey business for me to be involved in. I've been across the water, been a fighting in the war, army boots, army clothes, army chow, army car. Too much monkey business, too much monkey business, too much monkey business for me to be involved in. Shake it, baby, shake. Shake it, baby, shake. Shake it, baby, shake. Shake it, baby, shake it. Come on over. Whole lot of shaking going on. Busy fingers or happy fingers?
Oh, goodness. That's probably the first time the Genuine Country Music Association has played a little Jerry Lee Lewis. I don't know. But it sounded good, guys. Hey, earlier you met Alicia Lane. Now it's time to meet her older sister. She is another local favorite here. She's a master at the piano herself, so maybe she could play some keys for us later on. She was with the Ozarks Opry, and also the Country Shindig Opry Show. She was a big part of that show. She's going to share a song with us now. We're going to slow it down a little bit. I love this song by Lynn Anderson. I've loved it for many years by Crystal Gale. Would you please put your hands together in a very warm welcome for Miss Sarah Harmon.
If your sweetheart sends a letter of goodbye, it's no secret you'll feel better if you cry. When waking from a bad dream, don't you sometimes think it's real? But it's only false emotions that you feel. If your heartache seems to hang around too long, and your blues keeps getting bluer with each song, So let your hair down and go on and cry. If your heartaches seem to hang around too long, and your blues keep getting bluer with each song, remember, sunshine can be found behind the cloudy sky. So let your hair down and go on and cry. Let your hair down and go on and cry.
Sarah Harmon. I tell you what, all these dancers on the dance floor, that was so good to see. John, why don't you play some back to back? Let's have 4 or 5 back to back. We know all the players on stage now. Let's have a good time. Let's dance and enjoy.
You've got me dreaming those dreams again, singing those things again. I've gotta take you back just one more time. I swore the last time the thought was mine that I wouldn't see you if you came around. But I can tell my heart was right or wrong. And I've been so lonely since you've been gone. You've got me under your spell again, saying those things again, making me believe that you're just mine. You've got me dreaming those dreams again, thinking those things again. I've got to take you back just one more time. Everybody tells me I'm just a fool, that I should have never put my faith in you. But way down deep inside, I guess I know it's true. No one else can make me feel the way you do. You've got me under your spell again, playing those things again, making me believe that yours is mine. You've got me dreaming those dreams again, thinking those things again. I've gotta take you back just one more time. Yes, I've gotta take you back just one more time.
Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4. take my way, that's the highway, that's the best. Get your kicks along Route 66. Valley bikes from Chicago to LA. Almost 3,000 miles all the way. Get your kicks on Route 66. Well, there you ride through St. Louis, Joplin, Missouri. Oklahoma City is a mighty pretty to see. Amarillo, Gallup, New Mexico, Langston, Arizona, don't forget Winona, Kingman, Boston, San Bernardino. If you get hip to this kind of tale, when you make your California trip, get your kicks along Route 66. Welcome to the Lake of the Ozarks, Mr. Tim Atwood. Well, you ride through St. Louis, Joplin, Missouri, Oklahoma City looks so mighty pretty. You can see Amarillo and Gallup, New Mexico, Langston, Arizona, don't forget Winona, Kingman, Boston, San Bernardino. If you get hip to this kind of tale, and you make your California trip, get your kick along Route 66. Get your kids along Route 66. Get your kids on Route 66. Get your kicks on Route 66. Thank you.
Are we having a good time so far? Boy, me too. I'm just so proud to be here like Roxanne. Here's an old Ray Price song. Don't look so sad. I know it's over. But life goes on. This old world will keep on turning. Let's just be glad we had some time to spend together. There's no need to watch the bridges that were burning. So lay your head upon my pillow. Hold your warm and tender body close to mine. Hear the whisper of the raindrops falling soft against the window. Make believe you love me one more time. For the good times. I'll get along. You find another. But I'll be here if you should find you ever need me. Don't say a word about tomorrow or forever. There'll be time enough for sadness when you leave me. So lay your head upon my pillow. Hold your warm and tender body close to mine. Hear the whisper of the raindrops falling soft against the window. Make believe you love me one more time. For the good time. For the good time. Thank you so much.
Wow. Tim Atwood. Isn't that fabulous? 1990, Dennis McCall of Grand Ole Opry arranged a demo session in Nashville at the Oak Ridge Boys studio for Alicia. It was a 4-song demo. We done a couple of warm-up numbers. 1990. He played piano, keyboard on that session that day. Isn't that ironic?
Yes, sir.
We listened to that CD last night, and he said he hadn't heard it in 25 years.
That's right.
24 years.
Yeah.
Fabulous.
Thank you.
Fabulous. What a job. Thank you, brother.
Yes, sir.
Tim Atwood. All right. Thank you very much. You're all welcome to dance. Take in the concessions back there, the refreshments, bid on all the silent auction items, buy chances on the guitar, and we got Alicia going to do a little up-tempo thing here, one called My Window Faces the South.
1, 2, 3.
My window faces south, almost halfway to heaven. Snow is falling, still I can see fields of cotton laughing at me. My window faces south, not that far from the Swanee. I'll never frown. somewhere between.
One, two.
Somewhere between your heart and mine, there's a window that I can see through. There's a wall so high that it reaches the sky. Somewhere between me and you, I love you so much I can't let you go. And sometimes I believe you love me, but somewhere between your heart and mine, there's a door without any key. Somewhere between your heart and mine, there's a window that I can see through. There's a wall so high that it reaches the sky. Somewhere between me and you. Somewhere between your heart and mine, there's a love that I can't understand. Oh, it's there for a while, then it fades like a smile, and I'm left in the middle again. Somewhere between your heart and mine, there's a window that I can't see through. There's a wall so high that it reaches the sky. Somewhere between me and you. Somewhere between me and you.
Absolutely beautiful. And it was so much fun watching the dancers. Nothing like that mother-daughter harmony, am I right? It's absolutely beautiful. Well, now it's time to introduce the band to you guys. They call themselves the Board of Directors, and they know all about a good country song and what it takes to make a good country song. Do you guys know what the definition of a musician is? Definition of a musician is a person who puts $5,000 worth of equipment into a $500 car, drives 100 miles to play a $50 gig. That is the definition of a musician. I see that we have some relatives and family members of musicians in the audience. You have met our steel guitar player. Isn't he fabulous? One more time, let's hear it for Scottie Henderson. Mr. Tim Atwood on piano. Now, I'm going to spend some time here because you haven't met our guitar players. One guitar player hails from Iowa, good old Iowa boy. He has spent 30 years of his life working the Ozark Opry, so you guys must know him well. He does a lot in the recording studio. Please put your hands together for Mr. Jim Finney. And on the other guitar, he hails from California. He is an amazing musician and entertainer. And I have to tell you something he may not have shared with you guys over the years, but one of his biggest fans is Merle Haggard. Put your hands together, please, for Mr. Roy D. This morning, I got up early and I went to work out in the gym, and I saw Jim and Roy there. They were both there working out early this morning. I overheard a little conversation between the two of them. And Jim turned to Roy and he said, "Roy, do you see that good-looking girl over there?" And he says, "Yeah." He goes, "What machine do you think I ought to work on today what machine do you think I ought to use to get her attention?" And he looked at him and he said, "I think you ought to use the ATM machine in the lobby." So, anyhow, but I saved the best for last. Well, I've got two more, actually, to introduce to you. John, you do the honors there with our fine drummer. Tell me all about the drummer. I know he's a good friend of yours.
Jay Orr, he is. He's one of my heroes back here. Spent many, many years working here at the Lodge in the Fifth Seasons Lounge with Karen Dene and her show group, dance group. Absolutely fabulous. He sat in with Monty Davidson, played drums in his country show. Tremendous vocalist. My good friend back here on drums, Jay Orr.
Now, I hear Jay can hit a really good low note when he sings. Is that true, Jay? Can you hit a good low note when you sing? I heard you can.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's pretty good. Maybe we'll hear some low notes before the day's over. And I've saved the best for last over here. He's a good friend of ours. He is the reason we are all here today. It has been his goal for years now to help save and preserve traditional country music. And I know that's your goal too. And we thank him for that. He is the president and co-founder of the Genuine Country Music Association. That's otherwise known as GCMA, The Real Thing. And he has been playing The Real Thing for over 40 years. Please put your hands together for Mr. John Farrell. All right, how about more. How about a pretty tune now? How about a little, I think it was Leon Payne that originally had out I Love You Because, wasn't it? Leon Payne?
I think so.
Scottie, would you do us the honors with the band?
I would.
All right, thank you, sir.
1, 2, 3. Directors. I want to remind you folks that we do have a silent auction going on in the back of the room. Got some great things that you can bid on today, from pet grooming to the beautiful artwork. We have some
Well, a 2-night stay at the Crown Plaza. We have a 1-year membership to the Bullpen. I hear that's a very nice place. Black Bear Restaurant, antiques, oil changes for your car. You'll go back there and bid on those. Those would be appreciated. All money goes today to raise money for our children to go to school in the name of scholarships. So it's for a very good cause. Well, you're about to be entertained. Your funny bone is about to be tickled. I asked if our next artist had any merch outside, and boy, does he have some things for sale. You thought it would be Walmart. He's got 8x10s for sale. He's got CDs. He's got DVDs. He even has a book called Laughter Heals. It's a joke book, and I think that he has all of those things for sale out in front. Tonight, this afternoon, as you leave, go out, pay him a visit, get an autograph, and say hello. He is a legend in this area. 38 years on Lee Mace's Ozark Opry. He's known for his haphazard character. He's in the Missouri Country Music Hall of Fame, America's Old Time Music Hall of Fame, and the Pure Country and Bluegrass Hall of Fame. Please put your hands together for Mr. Bill Goofer-Atterbury. And he is dressed for the occasion.
Thank you so much. I tell you what, I got some great music going today, haven't we? These guys are tough, man. They really are. Appreciate you all coming out. You know, we got a lot of things going on in the country today. Some are good, some are bad, but I'm telling you, there's nothing more important than the education of our young people. And for you all to come out and help support that, it's just great. You don't know how much that John and them appreciate that. When he called me and asked me to come to be a part of it, there's no way that I could turn him down. I mean, education is so important. I just wish I'd have got some of it. But I had a little trouble in school, you know. I remember one time I studied real hard, and I got this test back, and it had a 0 on it. Well, I went right up to the teacher, and I said, hey, I studied really hard on this, and you gave me a 0. I don't think I deserve a 0. She said, well, I don't either, but that's the lowest grade I could give you. But anyway, I tell you what, the best 3 years of my life was in the 3rd grade. It was really something. I did go out for sports, though, when I was in school. I mean, band, I think music is so important. If you don't even plan on doing it, you know, for a living or rest of your life, I think music is so important. But I went out for football, I remember, and about the 2nd day out, you know, the coach threw me the ball, and he said, you think you can pass that, Goofer? I said, I don't even think I can swallow it. But anyway, we're going to have a little fun here at SB&A. There was a boy from Arkansas who wouldn't listen to his mom. She told him he should go to school. He'd sneak away in the afternoon, take a little walk, then pretty soon find him at the local auction barn. He'd stand and listen carefully. Pretty soon he began to see how the auctioneer talked so rapidly. He said, oh my, it's do or die. I've got to learn that auction cry. Gotta make my mark, be an auctioneer. $20 bidder, not a $20 bidder, not a $100 bidder, 25 bidder, bidder, 25. Who's gonna bid? $25 bill. $25 bidder, not a $30 bidder, not a $100 bidder, 35 bidder, bidder, 35. Who's gonna bid? $35 bill. So from the boy who went to school, there grew a man who made it through. Came back home full-fledged auctioneer. And people came from miles around to hear him make that rhythmic sound. Filled their hearts with such a happy cheer. His fame spread out from shore to shore. He had all he could do and more. He had to buy a plane to get around. Now he's the tops of all this land. Let's pause to give that man a hand. He's the best of all the auctioneers. $30 bidder, not a $30 bidder, not a $100 bidder, 35 bidder, bidder, 35. Who's gonna bid? $35 bill. $35 bidder, not a $40 bidder, not a $100 bidder, 45 bidder, bidder, 45. Sold at home, $45 bill. Well, all right, throw him the gate and let him out. What are you gonna bid for it. I bid $5 now, $15 now, $20 now, $25. $25, bid a ball now, $5 now, $25 now, $30 now, $35 now, bid a ball now, $5 now, $35 now, $40, bid a $5, we bid a $5, we bid a $5. Yeah, sold that home for a $45 bid. Thank you. Thank you so much. You know, I had folks here that come to the Opry for years, and like I say, I was there 6 nights a week for 38 years, and I'll tell you, it's just so neat to spend a living to something, you know, that you really enjoy doing. And I had some folks ask about my family, about my brother, you know, and he's out in Oklahoma now with the FBI, and they finally caught him. And he's a Baptist preacher out there, and you know, folks thought maybe I'd be the preacher in the family, because years ago, when I'd come home on a Sunday from Sunday school and church, while Mom was fixing dinner, I'd get a stool there for a pulpit, I'd set a chair up there, and I'd go outside and get the old barn cat, bring the cat in there and set it in the chair, and I'd preach to it, you know, play like I was preaching and teach him what I taught in Sunday school that day. Well, one Sunday, Mom heard the darndest scream out of that cat, you know, and she come in there and she said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm baptizing the cat." She said, "You can't baptize a cat." Said, "They're afraid of water. You'll drown it." I said, "He should have thought of that before he joined my church." But went by yesterday and visited a friend in the hospital, and I heard he was in there, you know, and I said, "What in the world happened?" He said, "Well, it's a long story, but I'll make it short." He said, "Wife went shopping yesterday, and I went along with her, and we was picking out different things. And said, we went to this swimsuit area. We was getting ready to go to Florida, go on a vacation. And said, she was looking around, and she asked me, she said, 'What do you think? Should I get a bikini, or should I get one of these all-in-ones?' I said, 'Oh, for sure you need to get the bikini, because ain't no way you can get that all-in-one.' I think he got out of intensive care today. I think he did. You know, back when I got a classmate here that I went all 12 years through school with, and matter of fact, she moved back to this area here right after I moved out, so that tells you something there. I moved out, she moved in. But anyway, I remember on my first date, I called this gal and I said, you know, I'd like to have a date. She said, well, now, I don't particularly want to date one man. I said, well, that's just great. I ain't that particular myself. But anyway, I took her out. I got my old pickup, you know, picked her up for the date in my pickup, and we was going down the road. Well, it was kind of late fall of the year, and she got to complaining. Boy, it's cold. I just hate winter. I just hate winter. It's just cold. Well, I finally got sick of that, and I stopped and let her get up in the cab with me. And we hadn't gone very far till she said, take your glasses off. I said, what? She said, take your glasses off. So I took my glasses off, you know, and she said, you know, you're pretty good looking without your glasses. I said, you know, without my glasses, you ain't half bad yourself. I'm kind of old-fashioned, and you know, one thing that I really like is these folks do country music. You can tell that by Scottie on the steel. I never heard anybody play a steel as well as Scottie did. Just unbelievable. And I sitting back there, oh yeah, man, that's tough. Oh yeah, I seen George Jones go by just like that, you know, in my mind. It went through, but I never was much into computers and stuff like that. I'm kind of old-fashioned. I like the old-fashioned country music. I was raised on country music. And my kids thought I ought to have a computer, though, here, 12, 15 years ago. So they went and bought me a computer and said, now you'll have to have a printer along with that. You know, I didn't have any idea what was going on, you know. And they said, I'll email you something and you can email me back. And I said, okay. So they emailed me something, and I thought, well, it being it's my first email, I probably ought to keep it. So I punched print, you know. Waited a while, and pretty soon a little thing come up and said, can't find printer. So I wrote in there, I said, it's right beside you. And, I mean, I didn't know. You know, I mean, the thing's talking to me. I bought a new phone the other day, and the guy said, I guess you know that's got a Bluetooth. I said, that's too bad. I just bought the thing. But I don't understand that kind of stuff. So I wrote a song about computerized stuff, and it goes like this. Computers are a funny thing. They can stress and fry your brain. Hacking was not my plan, but my mouse got out of hand. And I began to tweet, I began to Twitter, I started to Google, and I'm not getting any better. And it burned, burned, burned. The computer virus, the computer virus. My Facebook has gone too far. I went to eBay and bought a car. The car soon fell apart. My windows won't open and my modem won't start. So I began to tweet, I began to Twitter, I started to Google, and I'm not getting any better. And it burned, burned, burned. The computer virus, the computer virus. The virus is hard to see. I've got gigabytes all over me. Communication is so complex. Should I call or should I text? So I began to tweet, I began to Twitter, I started to Google, I'm not getting any better. And it burned, burned, burned. The computer virus, the computer virus. Yeah, it burned, burned, burned. The computer virus, the computer virus. I got something here you don't see very often. I don't know about you, but I go around to flea markets once in a while, and I saw this thing there laying on the counter, and like you, I said, boy, I think I could play that thing. But, well, you may not do that. But anyway, it's something like, say, you don't see and you sure don't get any requests for. But I'd like to do a little short tune on the shower hose for you. You don't find these anywhere anymore. And so I'd like to do a little bit on the shower hose. They're off. They're all off. No. You know, I had several folks, they found out I was coming here. I did a little thing on the Opry for years, and I did it several years, and then we quit doing it, and every time, you know, we'd go somewhere, and maybe the show wasn't quite moving along, Lee Mace would kind of come over a little bit of these bays, and he said, son, you need to go get the English lesson. So, but I did a little English lesson on the show, and so folks wanted me to do it this afternoon. You know, sometimes you go to the store and you buy a book, you take it home, you start reading it. You find it's not near as exciting as you thought it was going to be, so you just put it aside and sometimes, you know, forget about it or throw it away. What I'd like to do this afternoon is give you a little short English lesson to show you how important punctuation is in a story. I've got just an old-time love story that I'm going to read to you. But before I read the story, I'll explain the punctuation to you so you know what type marks I'm using. And this will tell you how important it is to pay attention to the punctuation when you read a story. Now, when I come to a period in the story, it'll be a little dot. So when I come to a period, it'll be a like that. Recognize that baby right off. Period. Now, comma nothing but a little scratch. So when I come to comma in the story, it'll be like that. Quotation marks are two little marks right close together. Now, you normally find them up in the corner. So when I come to quotation marks, they'll be like that. If you're left-handed, they'd be like that. Doesn't make any difference, really. Now, a semicolon is a period with a comma under it. So when I come to a semicolon, it'll be like that. Question mark's quite a bit different. It's a half circle with a short line with a period under it. Now, when I come to question mark, it'll be like that. That one kind of hard on your system a little bit. Now, a hyphen or a dash is just a little short line. So when I come to a hyphen in the story, it'll be like that. Whole bunch of them right in a row sounds kind of like a flat tire. Missed one. Now, an exclamation point's real simple. It's just a long straight line with a period under it. So when I come to an exclamation point, it'll be like that. I'll read the short story and emphasize the punctuation. In the open window, there suddenly came a light. The prince had only one thing on his mind. 2 years had passed since she had met Sir Henry. He could still remember the unhappy evening when her father had thrown him out. They had been sitting in the park, and Sir Henry had said, "Darling, is this the first time you've really cared for me?" It's the first time I've heard this, too. No. She answered, "Yes. And it's so wonderful that I hope it will last forever." Suddenly, she heard an unknown sound. He arose, and in 2 strides, he was near her, embraced, kissed, and caressed her. Henry, what is love? Well, I only know it's wonderful, and I couldn't do without you. The months flew by, and soon they were wed and lived happily ever after. Thank you. You don't have to be crazy, but it sure helps. Do stuff like that. I got a song that I wrote about my wife going to Walmart, and I think she mentioned a while ago I do have CDs. Glenda and I both be back there, table just right behind you. I've got CDs, DVDs, and I got a joke book. Over the years, everything that I did on the Opry and on the road shows and everything on television, I would write down on a piece of paper, and I got a cabinet there. It's called Goofer's Brains, and everything that I did is there. So I went through just a very small partial of it and got some jokes and put in this joke book. And so, they're really neat to take to nursing home, things like that, to read to folks. And if you've got a preacher that's kind of dull, needs some new jokes, well, you might check him out. But anyway, it's called Laughter Heals by Dr. Bill Atterbury. And, of course, the doctor slashed out, for legal purposes. But anyway, there's a song on there that I wrote that it's called Gone to Walmart. Now she's gone back to Walmart, buying everything on the rack. The more that she buys, the more that I cry. She's taking the shirt off my back. Her alarm is set for 5 in the morning, and her clothes are laid out by the door. A Walmart flyer lays by her bedside. I hardly ever see her anymore. Yeah, she's gone back to Walmart, that she buys, the more that I cry. She taking the shirt off my back. Hey. A shopping cart is her main transportation, and you better not get in her way. When I die, bury me down at Walmart, so my darling can see me every day. Yeah, she's gone, 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 gone back to Walmart, find anything on the rack. The more that she buys, the more that I cry. She taking the shirt off my back. Yeah, the more that she buys, the more that I cry. She taking the shirt off my back. Yeah. Thank you very much. See you second half. Thank you.
You want to try mine?
Yeah, there we go. Big hand, one more hand, ladies and gentlemen, for Mr. Bill Goofer-Atterbury.
We're going to take a little break in the action here and talk with the other half of the Farrell team, and that would be Lynn Farrell. And there's sort of an ulterior motive to this whole event that's going on today. Can you explain that?
Yes. When I was growing up, I didn't have a chance to go to college for several different reasons. And John and I became involved about 10 years ago with State Fair Community College, leading up their capital campaign for them. So when they started this organization and doing charities, then my assistant and I went to a meal one day, and she came back and said, why don't we do something for scholarships for the students at the Lake of the Ozarks campus at State Fair Community College? I said, great idea. It's kind of a passion for me. I sit on the foundation board. To get to come and hear music that we don't get to do every day, and then have it to go to something very near and dear to my heart is very, very important, and I'm really excited about the community backing of us and the support and the sponsors and the silent auction items, and it's just going to be... I get a little emotional, so I have to probably stop talking. So,
explain the silent auction to me.
Okay, we had several people from the lake area that donated items.
Thousands of dollars.
We've got close to $5,000 in retail of silent auction items. Plus here we have one of the students' paintings from the actual Lake Ozark campus down here that's donated for it. And last year I bought a couple of pencil portraits that were done. So all of this money, everything that we raise today, goes to the campus for scholarships for our local students.
And that's important, too, that you said local.
Right. State Fair Community College covers several counties, the main campus being in Sedalia. There's one in Clinton. They have one in Jefferson City. But what we're doing here comes strictly for students for the Lake of the Ozarks campus. It does not go back to any of the rest of the campuses.
Great. And how much money did you raise last year?
We lacked $50, raising $10,000 last year. Right. This year, I've set my goal, but I don't want to jinx it, so I'm not going to say anything. But the one thing I do want to say is all of our sponsors this year, we probably tripled what we had last year, and 3 of our scholarship donors last year have already stepped up, one of them being Joyce Mace, who has contributed $2,000 last year and has already given us $2,000 this year. Bill and Billy Bennett, he used to be the general manager of Tantera years ago. They gave us $500 to go to a set student that they have an affiliation with. And then Paula Spring from the Warsaw area has already given us $1,000. So we're really excited about people realizing how important education is, and especially for students who need a little extra help to achieve what they're trying to do.
State Fair Community College was started in 1968, and it was known as Plywood University back then because it was just a very small campus in Sedalia, Missouri. But in 2005, the campus here at the Lake of the Ozark began, and we now have campuses here at the lake, at Boonville, at Clinton, and at Whiteman Air Force Base and in Eldon. We have over 5,000 students, so this event here at the lake is going to benefit our students by offering scholarship opportunities for them to start or continue their education here at our Lake campus. And many of our students come here and transfer on to colleges and universities across Missouri, or go into one of our career and technical programs such as nursing, machine tool, and agriculture are some of our career and tech programs.
Ladies and gentlemen, if we're already here on stage, waiting for Miss Alicia. If you're ready on stage, then I know the audience is ready, so let's get it together. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for the Board of Directors here at this great traditional country music show.
Today I passed you on the street, and my heart fell at your feet. I can't help it if I'm still in love with you. Somebody else stood by your side, and she looked so satisfied. I can't help it if I'm still in love with you. A picture from the past came slowly stealing as I touched your arm and walked so close to you. Suddenly, I got that whole time feeling. I can't help it if I'm still in love with you. Hard to know that it please you and hold you just the way I used to do. Heaven only knows how much I miss you. I can't help it if I'm still in love with you. No, I can't help it if I'm still in love with you.
All right. That was great. I love that. Hey, I've got to tell you a quick story here. I'm going to do a Mickey Gilley song. And when I was 18 years old, I was living in Peoria, Illinois, and Mickey Gilley came through town, and one night I went in and I set my piano up. I said, "There you go, Mr. Gilley." And he said, "I don't play electric piano. I only play grand pianos. You're going to have to play." Now, this is one of those things where I was so excited and scared to death. Well, all night long, I kept doing that thing. All night long. By the end of the night, my knuckles were bloody. There was blood all over the keyboard. And we finished up, and he walked over to me and he goes, "You do know you're only supposed to use your fingernail to do that," which would have been a great piece of information to have early on in the evening. Not only did I get to play with Mickey Gilley, I played this song at my father-in-law's funeral. He wanted to just have some honky-tonk piano at his funeral. Of course, there's usually a couple other funerals going on in the funeral home. And when I started this song, you could see people looking in going, "I want to go to that funeral. That's where they're having a good time." But this is a song called "The Girls All Get Prettier at Closing Time." 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, go. Well, the girls all get prettier at closing time. Well, they all begin to look like movie stars. Well, the girls all get prettier at closing time. When the change starts taking place, puts a glow on every face of the fallen angels on the backstreet bar. If I could rate them on a scale from 1 to 10, looking for a 9, but 8 could work right in. even more. But when tomorrow morning comes, I wake up with the number one. Swear I'll never do it anymore. So the girls all get prettier and closer time, 'cause they all begin to look like movie stars. So the girls all get prettier and closer time. When the change starts taking place, puts a glow on every face of the fallen angels on Backstreet Bar. Criticize the girls at all, 'cause I know Robert Redford even overhauls. We all picture in our minds a girl that looks just right. Ain't it funny, ain't it strange, the way a man's opinion change when he starts to face that lonely night. And the girls all get prettier and closer time. Don't they all begin to look like movie stars? The girls all get prettier and closer time. When the change starts taking place, puts a glow on every face of the fallen angels on the Backstreet Bar. Of the fallen angels on the Backstreet Bar. Thanks.
Rolling with the flow and going where the lone go. Anywhere the lights are low, I'm going where the lonely go. I'm making up things to do, not running in all directions, trying to find you. I keep rolling with the flow. I'm going where the lonely go, and I've got to keep going, and I can't lay down. Sleep don't hardly come when there's loneliness around, and I've got to keep going, traveling down this lonely road. I'll be rolling with the flow, and I'm going where the lonely go. Here's Mr. Tim Atwood. and I've got to keep going, and I can't lay down. You know, sleep don't hardly come when there's loneliness around. And I've got to keep going, and I'm traveling down this lonely road. I'm rolling with the flow. I'm going where the lonely go, and I keep rolling with the flow, and I'm going where the lonely go. There's your daily dose of Haggard.
Those sound guys don't like me, John. I keep doing this. Hello? Let's hear it one more time for Scottie. Isn't that great?
Thank you.
Amazing. Feels like a family up here, and that's a very cool thing. And I see some what I consider family members out there today, Vicki and Larry Hurst. They drove in from Raymore, Missouri to be here, 2.5-hour drive. We appreciate you guys so much. Larry is one of the best country singers I've ever heard sing. Got a lot of talent in the audience tonight. Larry can sing a mean Ray Price song and sing those ballads. He was part of the Presleys in Branson for so many years, and it's an honor for us, for you to be here. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. I love you guys. You know, the other day, Tim and I have 4 grandchildren, and our 4-year-old was sitting there on the couch with our daughter-in-law, Emmy, and Emmy said, "T, I love you with all my heart." And T answered back, "Mama, I love you with all my hair." And Emmy paused and she said, "Now T, the expression is, I love you with all my heart." And T looked at her with her big old eyes and she said, "But Mama, I only got one heart, I got lots of hair." So that's the logic of little children, and we sure do love them. And speaking of that, Tim wants to do a song for you now that's special to T. She's 4, and maybe we dedicate that song to her this afternoon.
All right, how many people started out as a child? The rest of you, welcome to the planet. Here's a song about little kids, and listen, because it's clever. I didn't write it, but it's one of my favorites. Oh, they piddle in the puddle in the middle of the driveway. They pick their nose and they throw their food. They fall out of bed in the middle of the night, 'cause something in their dreams went boo. They'll crawl in your bed and they'll take all your covers. You'll shiver till your buns turn blue. You wake up in the morning, little fingers in your eyes. That's what little kids do. They'll eat green beans if they find them in the carpet. Eat anything stuck to their shoe, like leaves and bugs and secondhand bubble gum. That's what little kids do. You're gonna need a lot of Band-Aids, iodine, adhesive tape, methylate, vapor, a little bit more iodine, chapstick, Q-tips, Vaseline, and Tylenol, and every now and then a little Pepto-Bismol. You can buy them a chocolate ice cream, they'll drop it on the sidewalk. Buy them another ice cream, watch them drop that too. They'll get real sick and throw up in the hallway. That's what little kids do. Oh, they get real sick, but it's never in the bathroom. It's usually on your favorite shoes. You're so bad you could cuss or going, la 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 la. That's what little kids do. But one of these days, they're gonna be tall and stronger and do the things that they could not do. One of these days, they're gonna say, hey, look at my old man. He can't even tie his shoe. nose and he gums his food. Falls out of bed in the middle of the night, just like little kids do. Around and around we go, we're just like little kids too.
Tim Atwood, ladies and gentlemen.
Thanks, y'all.
All right. You've seen him once today. He's a great entertainer. He is a legend around this park. So I want to remind you guys that he's going to be performing October 16th and 18th at the Main Street Opry. That starts at 8 o'clock, and you can go ahead and get your tickets now if you'd like. Put your hands together one more time. We love this guy, Bill Goofer-Atterbury.
Well, I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man. Across the desert bare, man. I breathe the mountain air, man. I travel, I've had my share, man. I've been everywhere. Been to Reno, Chicago, Fargo, Minnesota, Buffalo, Toronto, Winslow, Sarasota, Wichita, Tulsa, Ottawa, Oklahoma, Tampa, Cannibal, Bannibal, Lampolo, Bangkok, Baltimore, Galveston, Amarillo, Torpedo, Lambadilla, I'm a killer. I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man. Across the desert bare, man. I breathe the mountain air, man. I travel, I've had my share, man. I've been everywhere. Boston, Charleston, Dayton, Louisiana, Washington, Houston, King, Texas, Canada, Monterey, Faraday, Santa Fe, Tallapoosa, Glen Rock, Black Rock, Little Rock, Oskaloosa, Tennessee, Hennessy, Chesapeake, Spear Lake, Grand Lake, Devil Lake, Crater Lake, Pete's Lake. I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man. Across the desert bare, man. I breathe the mountain air, man. I travel, I've had my share, man. I've been everywhere. Louisville, Nashville, Knoxville, Omaha, Beaver, Sheffield, Jacksonville, Waterville, Cold Spring, Pittsfield, Springfield, Bakerfield, Shreveport, Hackensack, Cadillac, Fond du Lac, Davenport, Idaho, Jellicoe, Pickercore, Argentina, Dominica, Pasadena, Guanabana, sir. I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man. Across the desert bare, man. I breathe the mountain air, man. I travel, I've had my share, man. I've been everywhere. I travel, I've had my share, man. I've been everywhere. Thank you. Thank you so much. And thank you, everybody that come back and got to visit with all of you. And again, we thank you so much for coming tonight. You know, it's just so needed. And of course, it ain't over. It ain't over. And I imagine they're still taking, you know, go back there and sign up on this silent auction thing. See something you want? Get it. Take it now, you know, because you'll go home and cry later if you don't. You know, you need to check that out. But I mentioned my brother a while ago. You know, I went to visit him here about a month ago and got up in the middle of the night and wanted to get a drink of water. And I went in the bathroom there, and there's a glass of water there, about that much water in it, you know. So I thought, well, that's about what I want. So I just, you know, drink her down. Well, next morning we sat there at breakfast, and my brother said, "Did you get up in the night last night?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Did you drink that water in there on the counter?" And I said, "Yeah." He said, "That's where I keep my contact lens." I felt so bad about that. But ever since then, I've had 20/20 hindsight. So it didn't work out. Worked out pretty good. Yeah, I see the lady back there at Company Opry every year. And I asked her, I said, "How old are you?" And she said, "I'm 49 and holding." I said, "How old would you be if you let go?" And then she asked me how old I was. You know, I said, "Well, my age is my business." She said, "Looks like you've been in business a long time." I'd like to do a little short thing here. We didn't even mention this, so this will be an A. I had some folks who wanted me to do a little impersonation of Roy Acuff. You know, years ago, I would go with Lee. We'd fly around, see other shows and things like that. In the wintertime, we'd end up in Nashville. We'd always go to the Grand Ole Opry. And Roy Acuff's dressing rooms where we'd always end up. Lee and Roy were good friends. And so a 3 years before he passed away, I was telling him, I said, "I do a little impersonation of you." And he said, "Oh, good land, said, a lot of people do that." I said, "Not like I do. I got a strange imagination, you know. I do an impersonation of Roy Acuff like I think he might sound singing underwater. So if you just picture Roy Acuff laying on his back in a bathtub with his head underwater singing, I think he might have sounded something like this. Johnny Cash, the words are a little different. You probably heard it. It would go like this. I find it very, very easy to be true. Question is, who to be true to? I ain't got no one to be true to. That ain't fine. I'll walk the line. Believe that's it. I find it very, very easy to be true. The question is, who to be true to? I ain't got no one to be true to. That ain't fine. I walk the line. I find it very, very hard to hit these notes. That's the way that Burns song was wrote. I may need something for my throat. Yeah, that'll be fine. I'll walk the line. There it is. I keep my eyes wide open all the time. I keep my pants tied up with binder twine. I keep the ends out for the tie that binds. If you're not mine, don't pull the twine. No, if you're not mine, don't pull the twine. Hope y'all have had a good time tonight. You know, I enjoy what I do. Good lands. Yeah, and like I say, it ain't over. It ain't near over or anything, but I always kind of end my comedy thing with a song. It's my mother's favorite song. And I think, you know, the Lord gave me the talent that I've had and been able to use over these years, and I sure thank Him for it. And I hope you enjoy this song. very much. Bless you all. Thank you.
That's Bill Goofer-Atterbury. Very, very nice. Of everything he did, funny guy. I like that the best, I think. Hey, Lynn wants me to announce that the centerpieces on your table, they can be had for $30. You can see her on the way out tonight. So your centerpieces can be had for $30. Tim wanted me to announce that he can be had for $25. Okay? All right. This next young lady, I am so proud and pleased to be able to introduce her. You guys are watching part of history here today. We're here for a good cause. We're here to raise money for scholarships for the State Fair Community College. And Benjamin Franklin said, an investment in knowledge pays the best interest. I like that quote, because the young lady that you see in front of you right now, yes, she's going to be your interest 10, 15 years from now. She is no stranger to country music. She was raised on the good stuff, folks. She is 3 generations of country music royalty. On the stage right now, you see her grandparents, and you see her mother. So this makes her 3 generations of talent. And I have to tell you, this is the first time that she's ever gotten before an audience like you guys to perform. So I think you should make her feel extra special. Please welcome Miss Addie Lane. Miss Addie Lane, there's your interest. Great, great job. Alicia, I wasn't going to say anything, but I'm crying over here, and I'm not even the mama. She made me very proud. Good job, Addie.
And she sings harmony. So I've got her singing harmony with me on the next song. Sweet Memories. a river as dark as it is deep. Night after night, the past rolls in, and it gathers all my sleep. My days are just an endless stream of emptiness to me. Filled only by the fleeting moments of his memory. Sweet He slipped into the silence of my dreams of him last night, wandering from room to room. I'm turning on each light. His laughter spills like water from the river to the sea. Oh, I'm swept away from the sadness. I'm clinging to his memory.
Three generations. That's Addie, that's her mother Alicia, and her grandmother Sarah. Let's hear it one more time.
And Papa.
And a proud grandpa there on bass. All right, Mr. Scottie, I don't think we have heard enough from you today. Would you like to hear Scottie sing another song? All right, well, you're on.
Cool. What am I doing? I lost my list.
How about a little Stand By Your Woman Man?
You know, when I was a kid, everybody was all up about impersonating Hank Sr. and Ray Price and Merle Haggard and all them. There's a tune in there somewhere. I was into Ronnie Millsap. I love Ronnie Millsap, so we're going to do one for you. At 5 o'clock she knows I'll soon be home. That's good, isn't it? But she don't worry about me running around, 'cause all of my good times are waiting right here for me. And she knows where I'll be when the sun goes down. But I'm a stand by my woman, man. The gun they will turns around and let it go bang. And love leads us through life hand in hand. But I'm a stand by my woman, man. We're gonna stay the night thinking, hey, love rain. And that's why I'm a stand by my woman, man. When she's down, she knows I'll be beside her. 'Cause I'm not just her lover, I'm her friend. And our love keeps getting better, and I'll gladly stand forever, standing by the one who stands by my man. But I'm a stand by my woman, man. But our world turns around and let it go bang. And love leads us through life hand in hand. But I'm a stand by my woman, man. We're gonna stay the night that ain't love grand. And that's why I'm a stand by my woman. Stand by my woman, man. But I will turn around and let it go bang. And love leads us through life hand in hand. But I will stand by my woman, man. We're gonna stay the night thinking, hey, love man. And that's why I'm a stand by my woman, man. That's why I'm a stand by my woman, man.
I told you he was a country song's best friend. Let's hear it for Scottie.
Thanks.
Nice job. I want to remind you folks that we're starting to wind down here. We still have a few songs left, but if you want that guitar, you need to buy your raffle tickets because the raffle is coming up. That's a flat top guitar with a natural finish. The tickets are $1 each, or you can get 6 tickets for $5. You must be present to win. So you need to get your tickets now. Speaking of country music and country songs, I know probably in my mind one of the greatest country music singers of all time was George Jones. And I know that Tim had the honor, you had the honor of actually playing at George Jones's funeral. He played piano for that funeral, and I was not alive, I was not present when Hank Williams passed away and for his funeral, but I've seen pictures, and there were thousands and thousands of people lined up in the streets for Hank Williams' funeral. Well, let me tell you, the day of George Jones' funeral at the Grand Ole Opry House, there were thousands of people that were turned away. There were hundreds and hundreds who stayed outside the Grand Ole Opry House that day to pay homage to the great George Jones, the possum. And I know that was an honor for Tim to play. But you go way back. You actually knew George back in your early days of your career when you used to play with Jim Ed Brown, right?
Yeah, I worked with Jim Ed Brown and Helen Cornelius. And we were actually in Green Bay one time. This is a quick story. And my wife was having surgery. Not this wife. I'm a country music guy. You know, you gotta have 2 or 3. That's
that would
what
have
you
been
gotta
wife
have.
number 2.
That's just part of it. So anyhow, I knew my wife was having surgery the next day. We were in Green Bay, and I knew we wouldn't make it back on the bus in time. There we are. Wow, I thought I went deaf for a minute. Anyhow, Jim had asked George, said, can he fly back with you so he could be there for his wife's surgery? And George said, well, sure, just come on, you know. So we get to the airport, and it's a little 4-passenger plane, and the pilot says, George, we shouldn't fly right now because there's a bad storm between Green Bay and St. Louis. And George said, I rented this plane, and we're going.
Had George been doing this a little bit?
Yeah, George
Maybe
had
a little?
Imagine that. George had a couple. But anyhow, we get on a plane. Now, I don't know a lot about planes. I do know there's like a horizon meter that lets you know when you're level. Well, the whole time I'm in that plane between Green Bay and St. Louis, it's doing this. George is passed out, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm going to die in a plane crash with George Jones, and ain't a soul going to know who I am or why I'm on the plane with George Jones. This is my favorite George Jones song. He said, I'll love you till I die. She told him, you forget in time. As the years went slowly by, she still preyed upon his mind, kept her picture on his wall, went half crazy now and then. He still loved her through it all, hoping she'd come back again. Kept love letters by his bed, dated 1962. He had underlined in red every single I love you. I went to see him just today. Oh, but I didn't see no tears. All dressed up to go away. First time I'd seen him smile in years. And he stopped loving her today. They placed a wreath on his door, and soon they'll carry him away. He stopped loving her today. You know, she came to see him one last time. We all wondered if she would. And it kept running through my mind. You know, this time he's really over her for good. And he stopped loving her today. They placed a wreath on his door, and soon they'll carry him away. He stopped loving her today.
That's some good stuff right there. Tim Atwood, and he stopped loving her today. Hey, during intermission, I took a break.
Let me, if I can comment, George Jones passed away I got this story last night when they got in town. Tim played for his funeral at the Grand Ole Opry. How about that?
It was tough, but it was good.
Well, I was out front, John, during intermission. Hey, John, we were out there. Oh, he's playing the next song, isn't he? We were out there during intermission, and there were 3 little boys out there at intermission, and I got the biggest kick out of them. They were talking about how much money their dads made. That can be embarrassing. But this one little boy says, you know, my dad scribbles a few words down on a piece of paper, and he calls it a poem, and he makes $50. And the next little boy said, well, you know what? My dad takes a piece of paper, and he scribbles a few words down on it. He calls it a song, and he makes $100. And the third little boy says, well, that's nothing. My dad takes a piece of paper, he scribbles some words down on it, he calls it a sermon, and it takes 10 guys to collect the money. You hear the darndest things out there, I'm telling you. Hey, Scottie, how about doing us the honors? One more song, sir.
I'm going to do a song for my good friends Jimmy and Starla Queen. We had a band a few years back ago called the Jazzabillies. And some people even liked it. That's an inside joke between me and Starla. We're going to do a little song called Sugar Moon. 1, 2, go on. When sugar cane time and around about June, I'll be riding that berry. I need that old sugar moon. I'm gonna drive her a line, tell her I'll be home soon. I'll be dancing with sugar, need that old sugar moon. But I can see it right now. Get the calendar down, draw a circle around the day we're all surround. When it's sugar cane time and around about June, wedding bells will be ringing, need that old sugar moon. Here's Roy now. Here's Tim. When it's sugar cane time and around about June, I'll be dancing with sugar. I need the old sugar moon. All the love that I miss, I'll be getting it soon. I'll be getting it from my sugar down that old sugar moon. I'll be dreaming sweet dreams. Oh Lordy, how I will pray when it's sugar cane time and around about June, wedding bells will be ringing, need that old sugar moon. I'll be dancing with sugar, I need that old sugar moon.
I'm talking about. Eddie Stubbs, I don't know if any of you guys listen to him on WSM radio, but he would say at that point, are there any questions? and there should be none. Hey, we've come to the end of our program, almost. We want to say thank you to the good Lord above, but before we do, we need to draw for that guitar. So, Lynn, John, where is the guitar?
It's over there.
Right here.
Okay.
Can I bring this down to my level? Little
No,
lower?
you're
Lower.
good. You're perfect.
The guitar's right here. Can everyone see it? Jeff, can somebody bring the... Oh, Laura, you got it? We didn't buy a ticket, did we? Addison, I'm going to let you draw. But before we do the drawing, I want to thank each and every one of these musicians who came and donated their time for the State Fair Community College today. Musicians, singers.
I don't think they knew that.
None of them are getting paid, so that's even better. Thank you very much to all of you. I truly, truly do appreciate it.
We're going to talk, John.
I'm going to let Addison draw, but I want to thank all of you for coming today and making this a special event for me. Get a little emotional once in a while. But I love traditional country music. I love hearing my husband sing and play, and our children. And I love each and every one of you for being here and making this a great day. Thank you.
All right, draw the ticket.
Okay, Addie, you got it, baby. Do it. You do not have to be here, so if you're not here, okay, we'll call you. Okay.
Claire Peterson.
Claire Peterson, where are you?
Claire, you want a guitar?
Where are you, Claire? Okay. Come up and get your guitar. She shoots track with us. Her and her husband, Jim. It's phenomenal. We have a great time. Thank you. They bought the first tickets to come to this event. Thank you, Claire. Okay, the silent auction will be closing right away. We've got one more song, two more songs. Okay, so again, thank you very much. State Fair Community College says thank you. The students say thank you, and I say thank you. Have a great evening, and be careful going home.
And I want to say thank you, too. I've enjoyed being here. I know Tim's had a great time. We appreciate the hospitality. I hope you had a good time at the Classic Country Jamboree. I hear people all the time say that there's just no traditional country music out there. And truth be, there's plenty of traditional country music out there. You guys have to get out and support traditional country music like you have today when you find it. And you need to tell your friends and neighbors that. And when traditional country artists have CDs, you need to buy them. You need to support those artists that you love. And I just discovered there's a whole other group of people over there. Hello. Good to see you guys. We've had a great time. Let's end the evening. We've raised a lot of money for education, a great cause. But let's end the evening by giving thanks with a couple of great songs to the good Lord above. Thank you very much.
1, 2, 3.
my immortal home. Oh, bear me away on your snowy wings to my immortal home.
All right. Thank you so much. We love all of you. Thank you very, very much. Appropriate, we end this show with Will the Circle Be Unbroken? Any of you join in? We're going to kick that around up here. It'll be the last number. We love you all. Thank you very much. I'll see you, Ralph. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate it.
Roxanne, you did a great job.
I was standing by my window on one cold and cloudy day when I saw the birds were rolling for to carry my mother away. The circle be unbroken by and by, Lord, by and by. There's a better home awaiting in the sky, Lord, in the sky.
Well, Undertaker, Lord, please drive so slow. 'Cause that lady that you carry doesn't seem to go. Well, the circle be unbroken by and by, Lord, by and by. There's a better home awaiting in the sky, Lord, in the sky.
Look behind her. I tried to hold up and be brave, but I couldn't hide my sorrow when they laid her in the grave.
With the circle
Be unbroken by and by, Lord, by and by. There's a better home awaiting in the sky, Lord, in the
I was back home, my home was lonesome. Missed my mother, she was gone. All my brothers, sister crying. What a home to say hello to the circle being broken by and by, Lord, by and by. There's a better home awaiting in the sky, Lord, in the sky. Oh, guitar!
One said, Mother, ain't no parlors, and Thank you very much, folks. Appreciate you being here. Thank you, Roxanne.
Ladies and gentlemen, the board of directors.